Hi, we're back again, and our first guest this morning is a gentleman who does beautiful photography, and his name is Dino Mangano. Good morning, Dino.
Good morning. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, it's nice to have you on the show. I understand that you do photography a little different, has a little different to it, right?
I try to, yeah. For the last 15 years, been doing photography where I've been trying to meld nature into the photo with my subject, as opposed to just using it as just a background.
Wow, that's very interesting. But I'm really sort of interested in how long you've been a photographer and what got you into photography.
Well, years ago, I'm originally from Detroit, and I was just playing around with different art forms, and I picked up an old film camera my dad gave me. And I went around and just went into a forest and started shooting some trees and stuff, and I fell in love with it immediately, especially the nature photography part. And that was about 15, 16 years ago, and I haven't put the camera down since.
That's fantastic. But you don't live in Detroit anymore, do you?
No, my wife and I moved to California just over a year ago.
Oh, great.
So it's been very interesting finding new environments to shoot, because when you're shooting outdoors in Michigan, you have very limited time for warm weather. So when winter kicks in, you have to be creative shooting in the snow. Coming out here, being this close to Yosemite, has been pretty exciting.
Oh, I bet you. Oh, for anything doing photography.
Right.
But I'm interested in that shooting in the winter. How do you get somebody to go and get a picture taken in the winter?
You have to be pretty brave. I did a fashion shoot for a friend of mine who was a fashion designer a few years back. And it was 16 degrees that day before the wind chill, and I had on 3 layers and these big puffy gloves. I could barely hit the shutter on the camera, and this poor model had on an evening gown that the designer created for her. So we'd have this huge wool coat on her, and then we'd throw the coat down, shoot 3 times, put the coat back on, and it was
before she was frozen.
Yeah, it was 10% shooting, 90% warming back up again.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, you have to be pretty adventurous to shoot out in snow like that, but it's fun. I mean, you end up getting some great photos as long as you're brave enough and have a lot of warm coffee.
Are you going to miss the snow?
I will miss some of the pictures I get in the snow, but if I never have to shovel snow again, it'll be too soon. I do not miss. There's a reason I moved out to California. I want to look at the mountains and wave to the snow from a distance, but I don't want to go back to the snow again.
Oh, you don't want? No. I love snow just to go and look at it. Mm-hmm. But when I was a kid, I loved it. Of course, all the kids love the snow, no matter how cold it is. They don't get.
My wife
cold.
and I joked that when you see those commercials on TV, like a car commercial, and it's all beautiful, and that's not what winter's really like. Winter's it's cold and windy, and it hurts, and so. I'm very much enjoying the Central Valley.
Oh, I'm really glad you came. You guys are going to be real happy.
Oh, yeah, we love it.
And we'll just wait till it gets next spring, and you can go over to the beach and take things
Yeah, we visited
there.
The coast a few times. I've done a few photo shoots out there, not far from Monterey. And it's a whole different environment for me. In Michigan, I was used to going to parks, and it was mostly wooded areas, right? So coming out here to California and seeing some of the wide open, rocky coastal areas and shooting in vineyards, has just been a blast. So that's something we didn't get a lot of back in Michigan.
Oh, we got a lot of them.
Oh, plenty of them here. Plenty of them here. Yeah,
that's for sure. Did you bring some of your pictures for us to have on the?
Yeah,
there we go.
These go back all the way to when I first started shooting. So this one was in Michigan. Still when I was using a film camera. And this was just an old broken down stone wall that we found in a park. And the light was coming through just perfectly. So the nice thing, the reason I like to shoot outdoors, it provides an extra level of challenge as a photographer. Because in a studio you have complete control over everything, which is what you want many times for customers. But if you want to go out and kind of have fun and try your hand at some different skills and some challenges when the lighting will change on you like that. You have to be prepared for clouds to come by and the wind to kick up and
you have to be really aware of where the light's coming from.
Right. And so my goal is to not have a subject with just nature in the background, but have them sort of as equals in the photography.
Right.
So this was actually one of the rare wineries in Michigan. It was a lavender garden there, and we were doing an old 50s theme,
I love it. That's beautiful. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is neat.
And this was a friend of mine's, her daughter. She wanted to get her daughter into modeling, and so she was 15 years old, this young kid, and had braces, and we were doing photos with her for years, all through high school, through college, and she was ended up becoming good friends. Her mother and I, she was a local restaurant owner, and became good friends just through our relationship by doing photos for her daughter.
That's beautiful. She's just terrific. Well, oh, look at that. My goodness. Wow. What?
This was actually out in, this was in New York State, upstate New York. There was a wedding we went to, and I did the photography, and it was just right on the coast there, and the water was very calm, and the reflections were nice.
I have never seen a married couple on a beach. That's beautiful. Who would think of it? You.
I get it. Opportunities pop up, you have to capture them.
Oh, look. They're just absolutely beautiful.
Thank you very much.
So glad you brought them in.
Appreciate it.
And
thank
where
you.
can people get in touch with you if they want you to do something
Well,
for them?
my website's the easiest, manganophotography.net. I'm also Instagram, Twitter at Mangano Photos. And then Dino Mangano at Gmail is a pretty simple email.
Okay, you got that all written down, everybody? Listen, I want you to come in again.
Absolutely,
And you got some
yeah.
more pictures or something to
Thank
show?
you. Yeah,
Please come
absolutely,
back.
I'll do that.
Yes, we love to. Why don't we just interview somebody who want to promote them?
Sure, yeah. I'll bring in some things that I've shot here in California.
Yes, that'll be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
very
coming
much.
in. We'll be right back.